Hello and welcome to Backseat Broadcasting yet again. We're here doing our season finale of the MX-5 class. We're right into qualifying at the moment. Watching Kevin San Diego, who was fastest during the practice session. Jumping right into it at the moment. I think they're coming around to finish their hot lap at the moment. 2 minutes on the board in qualifying. Thank you for joining us. This is going to be a night race all week, so that will bring us lots of fun and enjoyment. Luckily, the floodlights still out there, able to see the cars, and hopefully lots of close racing will be able to see everybody in the headlights of another car. Kelly fitting a great black paint job for the night session here at Richard Spindell's. Repping Canada as always. Going out there setting some hot laps, but let's take a quick gander over to our championship points. Take a look at that, and I think we've done a little messing around perhaps in terms of, oh no, we haven't yet for number 9 of 12 races count. Greg Ream up top, Michael Johnson probably taking second place, and we will see the battle of that final podium position possibly come down to tonight. And we should see some excellent drafting out there. It's Craig cutting onto the apron to make that lap as short as possible. He liked the look of that one, I suppose. Kevin San Diego doing a 2:09.476 is the time to beat. Craig Ream sitting in second place over a second back. Or sorry, half a second back. And then Jean-Paul Lanoux into third, followed by Nicholas Love, Charles Kowalczyk, Michael Johnson down there in sixth, running a 2:11.282. Oh goodness, we don't want to see that, do we? Just a few tenths or 100ths between these guys at the moment. It's their first lap down, heading into their second. And 5 minutes, 30 seconds already on the clock. Kevin San Diego. Oh, and that's Andy Cantu, who is one of our new members, who has been really impressive last week with a second place finish. We got a few new members. Gary Morris here. A few old returning members. Andre Garcia here. I feel like I have Andre's picture. I'm not utilizing it. Tommy Regan jumping up to 6th with that one, but then was pushed down by, I don't know who it was, Brian DeVries getting himself up there with a great lap there. Brian Lemke, I think, has joined us a few times. Is in 7th, and then Kelly Greenhill right into 8th place there with a 2:10.7. Mr. San Diego unable to beat his last lap, I suppose. He's back to the infield section. Richard Swindell with a 2:11.2 puts him into 17th. Kent Kruger and John Miller return to the pit lane. John Miller was on the front row or the second row, I thought, last week. Jeremy Fries down here in 31st. Welcome, Jeremy. Make that 32nd. Oh, as Ken Kruger is sitting in the pits there. Michael Johnson out on track running 17th at the moment. Jean-Paul Lanou only good enough for 13th right now. It's such a long lap, you just got to get everything right. These guys are probably only going to have time to do 3 hot laps. Jordan is putting himself up into 5th place. Kevin San Diego goes even faster with a 2:09.1. Andy Cantu also in the 2:09s. Craig Ream does a 2:09.8, is into the pits. Nicholas Love is in 4th. Kevin perhaps getting a little bit too much inside curbing there. Almost in the dirt and unable to get on the throttle, but he's certainly making this track as wide as it possibly can be. And that's why I thought John Miller puts himself up to 4th place there with that last lap. And that is time on qualifying. Actually, we are finished here. That puts Kevin San Diego on pole position, followed by Andy Cantu. Then we got Craig Ream, John Miller, Nicholas Love, Jordan Musser, Brandon Bachman, Brian DeVries, Jean-Paul Lanou, Michael Johnson is going to round out the top 10. Then we got Tyler Pierre Richards, Kelly Greenhill is down in 12th. Brian Lemke, a new member for us, Tommy Regan lining up next to him. And then we got Joseph Mayer, followed by Charles Kowalczyk. Kent Kruger next to Andre Garcia, Richard Rogers, welcome Richard. Richard next to Richard Swindell, Vincent Wood, Terry Swan, Troy Banks, Adam Baltudis, Benjamin Syke, welcome Benjamin, Eric Jansen, Mark Bray, Jeremy Fries, Marcus Harney, David Fendick, Roman Bykoff, Bjorn Benches down there in 32nd, Bryce Carter, Ty Johnson, Russell Elizondo, Russell McGuire. Oh, goodness, what a grid today. Darren Dean is followed by, hopefully, Andrew Durkis, Paul Simmons Ochoa, Mo, John Muhammad, Kerry Morris, welcome Kerry, Aji Kandambi, Mason Smotherman, and Valerie Arsencio. Woof! And that's a grid. So waiting for the top 4 drivers to get on track. There's 2 of them. And this is going to be our final MX-5 race of Season 6. It has been wonderful. We've had some of the best racing here in the MX-5s. It has been a really fun class, learning lots. And we are missing Kevin San Diego, who has been notorious for having to start from the pits. Andy Cantu, unfortunately, not finding the gas pedal there. And John Miller, able to get around him. It's not been a good start for the right stack of cars. And we're just about ready to go green. And half the stack is not up there yet. Most of the stack ain't up there yet. Still going through the bus stop chicane out there. And here we are. Craig might be nice enough to let everybody catch up. What a bummer for Andy Cantu. I don't know what happened. Maybe something in his rig went wrong because he got on grid. It's not like he wasn't in his rig. The pace car is headed into the pits. And we're gonna go racing for our final time here in Season 6. And people taking to the skirt already and down to the apron. Getting a little wide, some people. And we're off. Craig Ream getting a little wide. John looking to the inside. It's right on his bumper. A couple guys having going a little wide into the first horseshoe. Andre Garcia to the inside. Roman Bykov has had an incident and has fallen away from the main pack, and now we should see the draft fest ensue out here on the long straights. And you can see, actually John's radiator there. That's what you're staring at. And that's got Jordan Musser up a couple positions. And Nicholas Love ahead of Brandon Bachman. And he spins it in the bus stop. And everybody's able to avoid him, luckily. Oh, but then somebody takes out Michael Johnson, it looks like there. It was Michael Johnson into the wall. Everybody else able to avoid all of the chaos. Well, more or less, I was about to say, there's a couple guys here. Vincent Wood and Brian Lemke into the grass. Ken Kruger has an issue. He's limping to the inside. And it's been a crazy T1, and the top two are been able to just boogie away. Brandon Bachman almost getting caught up in the craziness of Nicholas Love, who has not had a good time. He's just got to get a hold of himself and keep it going. Oh my gosh, and everybody's so wide. So many differences in speed towards the back of the grid. And somebody looked to have been dragging a wheel, but I think they repaired it on the go. And it's been Craig Ream and John Miller up top. Should be the battle to see. Kent focusing on that exit. Has one eye on the car behind. Because it really is, that turn is 100% about the exit, especially with the MX-5s here. If you want to get the move done, which Kent doesn't even want to do, perhaps. And he allows a car inside of him to have that draft. Well, perhaps not. It just, a whole gaggle of cars. Coming across the line nearly 5 wide. Oh, and it looks like Eric Jensen there spills it into T1. We're already 5 minutes into the race. And this is what happened earlier on. Oh, and that's Richard Rogers there, who perhaps just came a little fast through a yellow flagged area and kind of took out Michael Johnson, as the differences in speed are not great. Andres Garcia having great battle here for 5th with Brian DeVries. Oh no, and in the early parts of this race we got Tommy Regan having a crash. Or he's just going so slow, maybe something is wrong. He got a bad exit, hard to see. Andre is up to 4th. I don't quite know what happened to promote him. Bjorn Benches is into the infield or grass, it looks like. Oh, battling with Kent Kruger. And Kent's into the pits to get patched. Sorry, Bjorn is into the pits to get patched up. Battle for pretty much 4th. The leaders aren't too far out in front. It's 1.4 seconds. These guys are starting to catch up from the 3-second lead that these guys had. Brandon Bachman having a great race here, up 4 positions. Craig Ream is up too. Kevin Sandiego and of course Andy Cantu from the front of the grid did not grid, and he's not racing with us. And Kevin Sandiego here has a tendency to win the race but push somebody off track doing so, and then has to start from the pits the next race, and then he pushes his way all the way to the front again, and then has to start from the pits again the next race. It's a vicious cycle. Ask him all about it in the comments. Nicholas Love is behind Andre here, and Brian DeVries behind him, 1.3 back. You'll find John Paul Lanou, followed by Charles Kowalczyk, and Tyler Pierre Richards in 9th. Oh, it looks like Brandon Bachman has made his way by John Miller. He's now fighting up there with him. And it was into T1 there. John just gets a little wide. And he's just going to lose that car length. And that'll do it. Back on board with John Miller now. Andrew Jerkis as Darren Dean to the inside. Oh, and Andrew Jerkis tries to fight back on the horseshoe. And Darren just wants to keep his nose in there for the exit. But it doesn't really matter. Both of them are going to get miserable exits and be, especially if they go like that and bring Eric Jensen into play as well. It's not going to be fun for anybody. I was about to say Eric Jensen was about to get a great exit, but that's not a fun exit at all. Good little mess of cars back here. All fighting for, let's see, that's about 31st. So it's real fun to see just good battles happening all over the track. That's a good track. It really brings people together. Ooh, and except for Brandon Bachman, who is having a miserable go of it. Quite sure what was happening here. I've got John blinking a little bit for me. I don't quite know what happened, as Brandon Bachman was certainly falling off the pack. Some interesting racing lines being taken ahead, and Brandon Bachman not nailing T1 at all. He's going to lose 2 at least there. As Tyler Pierre Richards and Jean-Paul Lanoux looking very racy behind. Adam Baltutis trying to get one on Richard Swindell's here. They're really neck and neck. Adam Baltutis is going to pull to the inside here and get that one done. Kelly Greenhoe follows, as does Terry Swan. Kent Kruger having an off-track into T1. Ooh, and Richard getting a little wide there. Who pushed Kent? Who pushed Kent? Oh, it's a little hairy ahead of him. Oh, and he just gets a little loose. Oh, and the silver bullet strikes again. I think Kent was just about to keep hold of that thing, praying for dear life. And out of nowhere, Craig Ream has lost the lead of the race, it appears. Oh, that's what happened. I'm not going to be able to find the... John's blinking too much this evening. I won't be able to find the moment. But anyways, Nicholas Love... Oh my God, what's happening up top? Oh, Nick Love to the outside, finding the speed. Well done, Nicholas. Behind him, John Miller and Craig Ream still battling it out, and Craig Ream is dumped down to 3rd place. Bummer there. Brandon Bachman still having issues with T1. He's going to lose those positions to Jean-Paul and Tyler. Too many hyphenated names going on right there in that group. Don't care for it. Still a great little pack in the back. John trying to carry as much speed as he can through the bus stop chicane. Oh, and there's a spin, and it's got Brandon Bachman and Tyler Pierre Richards. Jean-Paul Lanoux gets kicked. Charles Kowalczyk through. Oh, Brandon Bachman actually makes it through. Hard to tell what had happened. I think they just expected each other to go through at a little bit faster pace. Oh, and that exit has actually ended up costing, as Craig Ream gets that move done to the outside without the draft. He's got to cut back onto the racing line. Roman Bykov going wide again, really hauling through T1. Nick Love's currently sitting in third place, trying to defend that top 3 spot for his life, and a win today will most certainly do it. And except for a few smaller groups, most of the drivers are all packed together out on the oval at the moment, and a few larger groups. Vincent Wood is the 3rd car in this little pack here. Ooh, and somebody has been punted just ahead. It's Brian DeVries. Let's take a quick peek, see what happened back there. Oh, and he just gets a ton of the curbing there, and Andre tries to slow down as much as possible. Oh goodness, and Vincent Wood braking very late into the horseshoe there. Terry getting the cutback move on him. They're going door to door, and they're going to the fences. Oh, what a bummer. As the gravitational pull took them together. And Troy Banks was watching all that go down. He's going to say thank you very much. Ty Johnson also getting through there. Mark Gray hunting down Michael Harney ahead. John Miller is in the lead of this race now, followed by Craig Ream. Nicholas Love falling down a couple positions. No. Mo, did you give me your picture? I think Mo gave me his picture. So we got 22 minutes on the board. About 17 minutes left of MX-5 racing. Terry Swan coming in after that bash. John Miller really enjoying his time through the bus stop chicane. 2 behind. Not quite as fast, and Craig's going to have to help Nick Love get up there. He's going to have to use that draft and give him the bump draft to start closing even faster. This is the moment to do it, but Nick looks like he's going to the outside. John's cutting down to the apron, defending really hard. But Nicholas is going to claim that back. And Terry Swan coming out of the pits just behind these guys. Tyler Pierre Richards still fighting with Jean-Paul Lanoux. Just tooth and nail Adam Baltutis and Kelly Greenhoe here. Looks like Adam's going to have the traction on the inside. Mo is tracking down Brian Lemke ahead. Moving down to the bus stop chicane, nobody getting it right. Terry Swan, the lap car, all up in the way. It was not fun. Excuse me. And that's Vincent Wood also trying to get out of the way. Probably so he can slow up and bash Terry. Go! Kind of hard to see what had happened there. We just weren't picking them up at that time. Hard to see. Kevin San Diego has fought his way all the way through the field. He's now about 10 seconds off of the lead. Absolutely incredible. Starting from the pits, doing the back to front challenge. Doesn't say he has the most positions gained because he got pole position, so it thinks he's down 3, but we had 42 drivers grid. Or race at least. Again, the tag from behind just not going fast enough for him. He plows on through, going 3 wide across the line. John Miller cuts back down to the apron. The other two are going to take a more conventional, speedy line. Craig thinks about a move for second place to the inside, but they really have to keep pace with John Miller at the moment. Troy Banks leading this little pack here. Great exit from T1, taking it real wide and hitting that late apex. It's a little concerned that Ty Johnson and the Unicorn Barf car is going to cut him off there. Greg Green falling off the front two slightly, but that draft will most certainly suck him up in just a second. Coming down to the bus stop chicane here. It's all going to get a little hairy perhaps. These guys are pretty smart. Oh, and John Miller taking so much speed through that time. It perhaps wasn't his best exit. And John gives up the lead, and he's going to take a high line, drop back to third. Take it real narrow through T1. Greg Speed keeps him in second place there. Ooh, Nick getting a little wobbly with the rear end exit there. We have 31 minutes on the clock. Tires have got to be feeling a little bit. Adam Baltutis allows Kelly Greenhoe to the inside. He still hasn't quite found the grip. He's just understeering his way through that one. Almost lets Richard Swindell through. Ty Johnson getting past Troy Banks. Ken Kruger waiting and getting a way better exit. And Russell's just going to have to let it go. section. And there is Jeremy getting out of the way of the top three. And Kevin San Diego doing his best, but the leader is able to keep him at bay. It's about 8 seconds behind, and Craig Ream slipping into second place momentarily as the drag race continues. We're heading into the final 5 minutes of the MX-5 season. And I was thinking that this draft fest was going to be a good one, just as Texas Motor Speedway was. John Miller down to third at the beginning of this lap. Richard Swindell's starting to get a little bit more involved in this battle. Here comes Jean-Paul Lanoux into this battle, even though he was turned by Tyler Pierre Richards. Tyler Pierre Richards now 5 seconds back behind this little group of cars. Jean being very aggressive there, getting that one done on Richard Swindell's through the bus stop chicane. Joseph Mayer and Benjamin Syke drag racing down to T1. What's ever going to happen at the top of this race. You really want to be in, like, I guess, third position almost at the beginning of the last lap, so you can have the best run. We're on our penultimate lap right now, 2 to go. Craig Ream sitting in third, Nicholas Love second place, John Miller, and then there's Jeremy Fries behind them. Michael Johnson making quick work there of Roman Bykoff. Craig Ream up to second place before the bus stop chicane. Craig Ream taking to the inside, not thinking about that last lap strategy. Nicholas Love doesn't seem to mind. So into the final lap, Craig, your points leader in this class, going to lead John Miller in second place. Nicholas Love in third, but it will be a draft fest down to the checkered flag. It should be a draft fest for a great number of drivers, as Kevin Sandiego has been overtaken by Charles Kowalczyk. Jean-Paul Lanoux now leading Adam Baltutis and Kelly Greenhoe as well. Troy Banks about to go door to door with Ty Johnson. Mark Bray is now in the back of this little pack, and Michael Harney even is closing on them. Roman Bykoff still actually staying with Michael Johnson ahead. It's Terry Swan, a lapped car behind them. Craig Ream actually able to pull out a 0.7 second lead. He sandbagged him, and on the last lap, he's just pulling away. Nicholas Love will be happy with third, but anything for the taking ahead, he will most certainly love. Coming down to the bus stop chicane for the final time. Just gotta get through it, and John Miller, it's about the same exit, but he will be closing only ever so slightly. Nicholas Love might try to make a move to the outside here. But Craig Ream's win looks more or less intact. As Nick Love, oh, but they come barreling through. I thought Craig Ream would have been safe. And John Miller is going to take the win. And Nicholas Love comes in second place. Craig Ream down to third. They got such a run on them. Behind them, it's Kevin Sandiego to the line, winning that little battle for fourth place. Kevin getting up there. Everything but the podium positions. Joseph Benjamin Syke winning that little battle with Joseph Mayer. To the line, Adam Baltutis with Jean-Paul Lanoux. And Adam Baltutis takes that little battle, and Kelly Greenhoe losing out. Going three wide, Mark Bray, Ty Johnson, and Troy Banks. It's going to be in that order. Michael Harney and behind them, and Troy just gets absolutely shunted at the end of the race. And Roman Bykoff pulls 4 100ths ahead of Michael Johnson for that battle. Absolutely incredible. Brian Lemke trying to track down Bryce Carter ahead. They're out of the bus stop chicane. Here's Russell McGuire closing on Eric Jensen. He's got Andrew Durkis to worry about behind. Here's a look from Brian's cockpit. He's not really gaining like he needs to right at the death here. It looks like Bryce Carter ahead is going to be safe. So here are your podium winners. I'm going to take their pictures. Very happy with that one, I am sure. Let's run through those race results if they are available. Sorry, I think I feel a sneeze coming on. Perhaps not. Let's get our finale music up there like we always like to have. That's John Miller taking the win there. Nicholas Love coming in second place. Greg Ream is in third. Kevin San Diego able to scrape all the way up the grid to come in fourth, followed by Andre Garcia, Charles Kowalczyk, Brian Syke, Joseph Mayer, Adam Baltudis, John Paul Lanuz, followed by Kelly Greenhill, Richard Swindells, Tyler Pierre Richards, Mark Bray, Ty Johnson, Troy Banks, Michael Harney, Roman Bykoff, Michael Johnson, Brian DeVries, Brandon Bachman, Kerry Morris, David Fendick, Bryce Carter, Brian Lemke, John Mohammed, John Mohammed, Eric Jensen, Russell McGuire, Andrew Durkis, Kent Kruger, Russell Elizondo, Richard Rogers, Terry Swan, Aji Kanambi, Jeremy Freeze, let's see, Vincent Wood, and Andy Cantu. Apparently only 3 laps down. I didn't see him all the race. Very strange. Anyways, thank you for joining us for our final race of the year. I had a blast out there. And just why not? Let's take a quick look at, it isn't the official points, but that gives Craig a commanding lead. Michael Johnson still sitting in second place. Nicholas Love solidifying that potential third place spot. Andre Garcia having a good race ahead of Richard Swindells. Adam Baltudis also having a decent race. That sees Mark Bray up a couple spots as well. It is so tight in there though. Y'all know the drill. Hit the thumbs down button, unsubscribe, leave nasty comments down below, hit the bell an even number of times. I think the Miatas are winners and might be a mainstay here at Apex this. Alright, everybody, we will see you next time on Tuesday with the GTEs and the GT4s for our final race here at Daytona, and then we will also see you on Thursday for our final GT1, GT3 race. Take it easy, everybody.